First of all, before I get started again, let me do a shout out to Rerun TV Entertainment for the clip that I used at the beginning of this particular video.
Bernadette Stanis, who played Thelma on the original Good Times TV series, has expressed disappointment with the direction of Netflix's upcoming Good Times animated series Reboot.
Good time. Good time. Look at we got 'em. Good time.
So as I said in my previous 2 rants, nobody seems to watch my stuff, so I'm gonna do it again. I posted this last night. I haven't had any views, but maybe I'll look up on some views from this one. Nevertheless, my stance is still the same on the Good Times reboot from Netflix. They actually named it Good Times Black Again, and I'm sorry I don't see the connection other than it's another racial slander of black people and how black people lived then and now. Because basically what they did was double down to ratchetivity. It's disgusting. It's not even satire. It's basically what I would say a Boondocks wannabe. They don't even make the grade for that, and I'm not a big Boondocks fan. But because I am a Good Times fan, I grew up on Good Times. And the culture at that particular time, back in the 70s, we didn't have a whole lot to refer to in terms of representation of black people. So whatever was represented on television at that time, for the exception of the Jeffersons, was more or less struggle. And it wasn't all that far from the truth. However, Good Times, the basic concept of Good Times was, even though black folks struggle, they still had a family. They still had love for each other. They dealt with their struggle in love. And they dealt with their struggle no matter what. There could be strife, but there were there was a moral foundation to the Evans family. It's a shame that this reboot in 2024 not only didn't show any progress whatsoever in terms of the evolution of black life, even in the projects. This particular projects doesn't even exist anymore. I don't know why they even had to put them in the projects, but it just made the assumption that black people are generationally ratchet and poor and broke, and this particular family, which was another 2 generations removed from James Evans, because they said that he was the grandfather of the dad in this particular show. It was just, I made a promise that we would do better in representing the Evans family, but you haven't moved on up anywhere. You haven't even moved up 1 floor from the building that they lived in. They supposedly live in the same apartment that the original Evans lived in, and it's supposed to be a good thing, you know. The baby is dealing drugs. Junior is an artist, but they've got him dumb as a doornail. The little girl that I would presume is the Thelma character, which she's, you know, younger than the original Thelma. You know, she gets her first period, and they made it out to some big Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory episode of going down some imaginary ghetto cervix area, uterine area. Oh, it was just, garbage. Everybody that I have seen online talking about this particular mess has the same they feel the same way. What were they thinking? Who decided that this was going to be funny or uplifting? Anything. All it did was piss off a lot of black folks. It pissed off a lot of black people. And if I were an actor of some kind, giving the voiceovers for this show, I would be very hesitant to show my face because it ain't a good look. Now, I know Stephen Curry was attached to this show. Shame on you, Stephen Curry. Okay? Shame on you for attaching your name to this garbage. Because at some point in time, anybody that was attached to it, even in the beginning, had the option, once they saw this, to roll their name out of it. I'm sorry. Wanda Sykes, I heard your voice in there too. Shame on you. Shame on you. And I know you watched Good Times back in the day, because you about the same age as me, if not a little bit older. So shame on you too. I'd call out anybody I knew that was on this show. Now, there's a couple more actors that are on this show that I don't have their names to. I'm not going to call them out because I don't know exactly who they are, nor do I care. All I know is that this was this was an abomination. It was an abomination. This show was an absolute over-the-top, racist, stereotypical coonery crap that one could ever watch on television. And in 2024, this shit ain't funny at all. This doesn't bring back tingly memories of the past, of back when we were growing up and we got to watch Good Times every Tuesday night, I think it was. And it was something that we looked forward to as kids. I was the same age as Michael when Good Times came out. So that's how old I am. So to look at this crap now and to show my grandkids, yeah, this is a cartoon version of what I grew up watching, they wouldn't even like that mess. I don't understand who was in the writing room. I know Norman Lear is dead, but damn it, you need to raise up and fix this shit. This is bullshit. That's not really possible, but anyway, hey, it's enough to piss anybody off. And I'm almost certain that anyone that was on that show back in the day was horrified to see it now. I know that the clip that I just showed of Bernadette Standis, that was just one small clip. I shouted out the originator of that clip. And I'm sure that there are others out there that were attached to that show, that acted on that show. Jimmy Walker, John Amos, anybody else that was attached to that show is just, I know Florida's just turning in her grave. I just know it. But God help them if they try to come out with the Jeffersons or try to do some satirical crap from the Cosby Show. Even though that was very positive, I'm sure that they could, if they could tear down Good Times, good Lord knows what they could do to the Cosby Show. Mr. Cosby would lose his job. His wife wouldn't represent him in court because of something that he did, and they broke up and had a divorce. Who knows? They liable to come up with all kind of bullshit nowadays. But again, this is another take of mine on what should have been on Ratchet TV instead of Netflix. And hopefully somebody will watch this video, because my other one, ain't nobody viewed it yet. I don't know if it's the thumbnail or what. Who cares? But somebody will watch it and somebody will agree. And That's all I have to say about that. I ain't gonna do no more videos on this garbage, though. Trust and believe. Y'all take care.